Question 1. What significant legal principle was established by the Magna Carta in 1215? A. The divine right of kings. B. The right to bear arms. C. The principle of habeas corpus. D. The establishment of parliamentary sovereignty. Answer. C. The principle of habeas corpus. The Magna Carta established the legal principle of habeas corpus, protecting individuals from unlawful detention. Question 2. Describe the impact of the Black Death on the social structure of 14th century England. A. Increased the power of the monarchy. B. Led to a significant decrease in the population and labour shortages. C. Strengthened the feudal system. D. Had no significant impact. Answer. B. Led to a significant decrease in the population and labour shortages. The Black Death resulted in a drastic population decline, causing labour shortages and eventually leading to social and economic changes. Question 3. What was the main consequence of the English Civil War in the mid-17th century? A. The establishment of a republic. B. The reinforcement of the divine right of kings. C. The beginning of the British Empire. D. The creation of the Commonwealth of Nations. Answer. A. The establishment of a republic. The main consequence of the English Civil War was the establishment of a short-lived republic, the Commonwealth, under Oliver Cromwell. Question 4. How did the Glorious Revolution of 1688 change the power dynamics between the monarchy and Parliament? A. It abolished the monarchy. B. It established the supremacy of Parliament over the monarchy. C. It eliminated Parliament. D. It made the monarchy the sole legislative body. Answer. B. It established the supremacy of Parliament over the monarchy. The Glorious Revolution significantly altered the balance of power, firmly establishing Parliament's supremacy over the monarchy. Question 5. Detail the significance of the Act of Union 1707 between England and Scotland. A. It separated Scotland from England. B. It created the United Kingdom of Great Britain. C. It established Scottish independence. D. It dissolved the Scottish Parliament. Answer. B. It created the United Kingdom of Great Britain. The Act of Union 1707 merged the Parliaments of England and Scotland, creating the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 6. Explain the causes and outcomes of the Jacobite rebellions in the 18th century. A. To restore the Stuart monarchy to the throne. B. To establish a republic in Britain. C. To annex Ireland. D. To promote the Protestant Reformation. Answer. A. To restore the Stuart monarchy to the throne. The Jacobite rebellions were aimed at restoring the exiled Stuart monarchy to the throne of Britain. Question 7. What were the main effects of the agricultural revolution on British society? A. Decline in agricultural production. B. Increased urbanization and agricultural efficiency. C. Reinforcement of the feudal system. D. Decrease in population. Answer. B. Increased urbanization and agricultural efficiency. The agricultural revolution led to increased agricultural efficiency and contributed to urbanization in Britain. Question 8. Describe the contributions of the Industrial Revolution to the global standing of the British Empire. A. Made Britain the world's leading colonial power. B. Decreased Britain's economic influence. C. Isolated Britain from European affairs. D. Led to the decline of the British Empire. Answer. A. Made Britain the world's leading colonial power. The Industrial Revolution transformed Britain into the world's leading industrial and colonial power. Question 9. What role did Britain play in the abolition of the transatlantic slave trade? A. Britain was the last major power to abolish the slave trade. B. Britain played a leading role in abolishing the slave trade. C. Britain opposed the abolition of the slave trade. D. Britain had no significant role in the abolition of the slave trade. Answer: B. Britain played a leading role in abolishing the slave trade. Britain was instrumental in the abolition of the transatlantic slave trade, passing the Slave Trade Act in 1807. Question 10. How did the Great Reform Act of 1832 reform the British electoral system? A. It extended the vote to all adult males. B. It made no significant changes. C. It expanded the electorate and addressed electoral malpractice. D. It introduced universal suffrage. Answer: C. It expanded the electorate and addressed electoral malpractice. The Great Reform Act of 1832 made significant changes by expanding the electorate and reforming the electoral system to make it more representative. Question 11. Detail the causes and impacts of the Irish potato famine in the mid-19th century. A. Over-reliance on a single crop and disease led to mass starvation and emigration. B. A war caused widespread destruction of crops and infrastructure. C. Economic policies favored industrial over agricultural development. D. It was a result of a trade embargo with mainland Europe. Answer: A. Over-reliance on a single crop and disease led to mass starvation and emigration. The Irish potato famine was caused by a potato disease that devastated the crop, which was a staple food in Ireland, leading to mass starvation, death and emigration. Question 12. Explain the significance of the Crimean War for the British military and healthcare systems. A. It demonstrated the need for military reform and led to the professionalisation of the army. B. It resulted in the collapse of the British military. C. It showed the superiority of British naval power. D. It had no significant impact. Answer: A. It demonstrated the need for military reform and led to the professionalisation of the army. The Crimean War exposed deficiencies in the British military and healthcare systems, leading to significant reforms including the professionalisation of the army and improvements in military medical care, notably through the work of Florence Nightingale. Question 13. What was the purpose of the Public Health Act of 1848 in Britain? A. To nationalise healthcare services. B. To address the cholera epidemic through improved sanitation. C. To restrict immigration from disease-prone countries. D. To establish private healthcare facilities. Answer: B. To address the cholera epidemic through improved sanitation. The Public Health Act of 1848 was enacted in response to public health crises like the cholera epidemic, establishing a centralized board of health to oversee improvements in sanitation and public health infrastructure. Question 14. How did the Education Act of 1870 aim to change British society? A. By making education compulsory for all children aged 5 to 10. B. By banning child labour. C. By establishing universities in every city. D. By privatising all schools. Answer: A. By making education compulsory for all children aged 5 to 10. The Education Act of 1870 aimed to make elementary education available for all children in England and Wales, marking the beginning of state involvement in education. Question 15. What led to the formation of the Labour Party, and what were its initial objectives? A. The need for a political voice for the working class and to promote labour rights and social equality. B. The desire to support the aristocracy and traditional industries. C. A focus on environmental conservation. D. The promotion of free market policies. Answer: A. the need for a political voice for the working class and to promote labour rights and social equality. The Labour Party was formed to represent the interests of the working class, with initial objectives focused on labour rights, social reforms, and equality. Question 16. Detail the implications of the Treaty of Versailles for Britain after World War I. A. It led to immediate economic prosperity. B. It resulted in territorial gains in Europe. C. It imposed significant military restrictions on Britain. D. It established Britain as a key architect of the post-war order, though with economic strains. Answer. D. It established Britain as a key architect of the post-war order, though with economic strains. The Treaty of Versailles had Britain playing a central role in its drafting, shaping the post-war international order, but also dealing with economic challenges resulting from the war. Question 17. How did the general strike of 1926 influence labour relations in the UK? A. It led to a ban on all labour unions. B. It resulted in immediate improvements in working conditions and wages. C. It highlighted the need for dialogue between workers and employers, eventually leading to labour reforms. D. It had no significant impact. Answer. C. It highlighted the need for dialogue between workers and employers, eventually leading to labour reforms. The general strike of 1926 was a pivotal event that influenced labour relations by highlighting the workers' grievances and the need for reform and dialogue. Question 18. What were the key features and impacts of the Beveridge Report? A. It advocated for the reduction of public welfare programs. B. It proposed the creation of the welfare state to combat want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness. C. It focused exclusively on healthcare reform. D. It recommended privatizing social services. Answer. B. It proposed the creation of the welfare state to combat want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness. The Beveridge Report was instrumental in laying the foundations for the modern British welfare state, including the establishment of the National Health Service. Question 19. Describe the process and impact of decolonisation on the British Empire post-World War II. A. It led to the rapid expansion of the British Empire. B. It involved the peaceful transition of power and independence to former colonies, reshaping Britain's role in the world. C. It resulted in Britain annexing more territories. D. There was no significant process of decolonisation. Answer. B. It involved the peaceful transition of power and independence to former colonies, reshaping Britain's role in the world. The decolonisation process marked a significant reshaping of the British Empire, with many territories gaining independence and leading to the transformation of Britain's global role. Question 20. How did the National Health Service, NHS, come into being, and what were its foundational principles? A. It was established as a for-profit organisation to provide health care. B. It was created following the Beveridge Report to provide health care based on need, not ability to pay, free at the point of use. C. It was founded to serve only the working class. D. It was established to promote private health care insurance. Answer. B. It was created following the Beveridge Report to provide health care based on need, not ability to pay, free at the point of use. The NHS was established in 1948, inspired by the ideals of the Beveridge Report, with the foundational principles of providing comprehensive health care to all citizens regardless of their financial situation. Question 21. Detailed the significance of the Suez Crisis of 1956 for British foreign policy. A. It confirmed Britain's dominance over the Suez Canal. B. It highlighted the decline of British imperial power and the need for a reassessment of foreign policy. C. It led to an increase in Britain's territorial holdings in the Middle East. D. It resulted in a strengthened alliance between Britain and Egypt. Answer: B. It highlighted the decline of British imperial power and the need for a reassessment of foreign policy. The Suez Crisis marked a pivotal moment in British foreign policy, illustrating the limitations of Britain's power without the support of key allies like the United States. Question 22. Explain the economic and social impacts of the Winter of Discontent in 1978 to 1979. A. It showcased the strength of the British economy. B. It led to widespread contentment with the government's handling of economic issues. C. It resulted in significant improvements in social services. D. It demonstrated the challenges of inflation and public sector strikes, leading to a loss of confidence in the government. Answer: D. It demonstrated the challenges of inflation and public sector strikes, leading to a loss of confidence in the government. The Winter of Discontent was characterized by widespread strikes and public dissatisfaction, significantly impacting the British economy and society and contributing to a change in government. Question 23. What were the main goals of the British government's economic policies during Margaret Thatcher's premiership? A. To expand the welfare state and increase public spending. B. To nationalise key industries and expand government control over the economy. C. To reduce the role of the state in the economy, privatise state-owned enterprises, and curb the power of unions. D. To increase taxes and government regulation of businesses. Answer: C. To reduce the role of the state in the economy, privatise state-owned enterprises, and curb the power of unions. Margaret Thatcher's economic policies focused on deregulation, privatisation, and reducing the influence of trade unions, aiming to shift towards a more market-oriented economy. Question 24. Detail the causes and resolutions of the Falklands War in 1982. A. The war was fought over territorial disputes in Europe, resulting in a peace treaty. B. The conflict arose from a fishing dispute resolved through international arbitration. C. Argentina's invasion of the Falkland Islands led to a military conflict with Britain, which resulted in the re-establishment of British control over the islands. D. The war was initiated by Britain to expand its territory, ending with an annexation of new lands. Answer: C. Argentina's invasion of the Falkland Islands led to a military conflict with Britain, which resulted in the re-establishment of British control over the islands. The Falklands War began with Argentina's invasion, and the conflict ended with Britain successfully reasserting its sovereignty over the islands. Question 25. Explain the significance of the Good Friday Agreement in Northern Ireland's history. A. It was a peace treaty that ended World War II. B. It marked the beginning of the Troubles. C. It resulted in Northern Ireland gaining independence from the UK. D. It was a landmark peace agreement that helped to end decades of conflict known as the Troubles. Answer: D. It was a landmark peace agreement that helped to end decades of conflict known as the Troubles. The Good Friday Agreement, signed in 1998, was crucial in bringing an end to the sectarian violence in Northern Ireland and establishing a framework for political peace and reconciliation. Question 26. What were the main provisions of the Scotland Act 1998 and why was it important? A. It granted full independence to Scotland. B. It established the Scottish Parliament with powers over specific areas of domestic policy, marking a significant step in devolution. C. It merged Scotland's government with England's. D. It restricted Scotland's legislative powers. Answer: B. It established the Scottish Parliament with powers over specific areas of domestic policy, marking a significant step in devolution. The Scotland Act 1998 was important for providing Scotland with a degree of legislative autonomy, allowing it to self-govern in certain areas and reflecting the principle of devolution within the United Kingdom. Question 27. How did the Human Rights Act 1998 affect legal protections in the UK? A. It removed existing legal protections for individuals. B. It made the rights contained in the European Convention on Human Rights directly enforceable in UK courts. C. It established the death penalty for human rights violations. D. It limited the application of human rights in the UK. Answer. B. It made the rights contained in the European Convention on Human Rights directly enforceable in UK courts. The Human Rights Act 1998 significantly enhanced legal protections by incorporating the European Convention on Human Rights into UK law, enabling individuals to defend their rights in domestic courts. Question 28. Describe the impact of the financial crisis of 2008 on the UK economy and government policy. A. It led to a prolonged period of economic growth and stability. B. It resulted in a banking collapse that was quickly resolved without government intervention. C. It triggered a severe recession, leading to government bailouts of banks and austerity measures. D. It had no significant impact on the UK economy or government policy. Answer. C. It triggered a severe recession, leading to government bailouts of banks and austerity measures. The financial crisis of 2008 had a profound impact on the UK economy, resulting in a severe recession that necessitated government intervention, including the bailouts of major banks and the implementation of austerity measures to stabilize the national economy. Question 29. What is the significance of the Brexit referendum, and what were the main arguments on both sides? A. It determined the UK's participation in the Eurovision Song Contest, with arguments focusing on cultural representation. B. It was a vote on the UK's membership in the European Union, with Leave arguing for sovereignty and Remain emphasising economic stability. C. It was about adopting the euro, with debates centred on economic independence versus stability. D. It decided on the UK's nuclear disarmament, with discussions on national security versus global peace. Answer. B. It was a vote on the UK's membership in the European Union, with Leave arguing for sovereignty and Remain emphasising economic stability. The Brexit referendum was a pivotal moment in UK history, where the electorate voted on whether to remain in or leave the European Union, highlighting deep divisions over issues of national sovereignty, economic policy, and immigration. Question 30. Detail the role and powers of the Mayor of London as established by the Greater London Authority Act 1999. A. The Mayor has absolute authority over all of England's administrative functions. B. The Mayor is a ceremonial position with no real powers or responsibilities. C. The Mayor oversees London's transport, policing, economic development, and environmental policies. D. The Mayor's role is limited to representing London in international diplomacy. Answer. C. The Mayor oversees London's transport, policing, economic development, and environmental policies. Established by the Greater London Authority Act 1999, the Mayor of London holds significant powers and responsibilities over key aspects of the city's governance, aiming to improve the quality of life for Londoners and promote the city's economic development. Question 31. Explain the purpose and impact of the Climate Change Act 2008. A. To deregulate carbon emissions and promote coal use. B. To legally bind the UK to reduce carbon emissions by 80% by 2050 compared to 1990 levels. C. To exit international climate agreements and focus on local environmental issues. D. To increase the use of non-renewable energy sources. Answer. B. To legally bind the UK to reduce carbon emissions by 80% by 2050 compared to 1990 levels. The Climate Change Act 2008 was groundbreaking, making the UK the first country to set such a long-term and legally binding carbon reduction target, emphasizing its commitment to tackling climate change. Question 32. How has the UK's approach to immigration policy evolved in the 21st century? A. Shift towards more open borders and increased immigration. B. Periodic tightening and loosening of immigration controls in response to political and economic pressures. C. Complete closure of borders to all immigrants. D. Uniform policy with no changes since 2000. Answer. B. Periodic tightening and loosening of immigration controls in response to political and economic pressures. The UK's immigration policy has seen various adjustments, reflecting a balance between economic needs, social concerns, and political pressures. Question 33. What are the legal and social implications of the Same-Sex Marriage Act 2013? A. It restricted marriage to opposite-sex couples only. B. It legalized same-sex marriage, marking a significant advancement in LGBTQ+ rights. C. It had no significant impact on legal or social norms. D. It outlawed civil partnerships. Answer. B. It legalized same-sex marriage, marking a significant advancement in LGBTQ+ rights. The Same-Sex Marriage Act 2013 was a landmark for equality, allowing same-sex couples to marry and enjoy the same legal recognitions and protections as opposite-sex couples. Question 34. Describe the challenges and outcomes of the Scottish independence referendum in 2014. A. Scotland gained independence from the UK. B. The referendum led to significant constitutional reforms, but ultimately resulted in Scotland voting to remain part of the UK. C. It resulted in the dissolution of the Scottish Parliament. D. The vote was inconclusive and led to immediate secession. Answer. B. The referendum led to significant constitutional reforms, but ultimately resulted in Scotland voting to remain part of the UK. The referendum was a critical moment in UK politics, affirming Scotland's place within the Union, while sparking discussions on governance and autonomy. Question 35. How does the UK's parliamentary system differ from a presidential system? A. The head of state is also the head of government in a parliamentary system. B. In a parliamentary system, the head of government is usually a member of the legislature and is appointed by the legislature. C. A parliamentary system allows the direct election of the head of government by the public. D. Parliamentary and presidential systems are essentially the same. Answer. B. In a parliamentary system, the head of government is usually a member of the legislature and is appointed by the legislature. This contrasts with a presidential system, where the president often serves as both head of state and government and is directly elected by the public. Question 36. Detail the history and purpose of the Commonwealth of Nations and the UK's role within it. A. A military alliance led by the UK for defence against global threats. B. An economic union similar to the European Union, with the UK as the sole beneficiary. C. A political union for shared governance of member states ruled by the UK. D. An organisation comprising countries with historical ties to the British Empire, promoting democracy, human rights and development. Answer. D. An organisation comprising countries with historical ties to the British Empire, promoting democracy, human rights and development. The Commonwealth reflects the UK's commitment to fostering cooperative and mutually beneficial relationships with its former colonies. Question 37. What impact did World War II have on the British Empire and its colonies? A. It led to the rapid expansion of the empire. B. It strengthened the economic power of the colonies. C. It accelerated the process of decolonization due to economic strains and growing independence movements. D. It had no significant impact. Answer: C. It accelerated the process of decolonization due to economic strains and growing independence movements. World War II significantly weakened the British Empire, leading to an accelerated push for independence within its colonies. Question 38. Explain the significance of the Battle of Britain in the context of World War II. A. It was a significant naval battle that halted the German Navy. B. It marked the first defeat of Hitler's military forces on the Western Front. C. It was an air campaign that prevented Germany from gaining air superiority, crucial for their planned invasion of Britain. D. It resulted in the capture of British forces by German troops. Answer: C. It was an air campaign that prevented Germany from gaining air superiority, crucial for their planned invasion of Britain. The Battle of Britain was a pivotal moment in World War II, marking the first major defeat of Hitler's forces and demonstrating the resilience and capability of the British RAF. Question 39. How has the concept of British identity changed over the last century? A. It has remained static and unchanged. B. It has become increasingly influenced by American culture. C. It has evolved to become more inclusive, reflecting the UK's multicultural society. D. It has shifted to exclude non-English influences. Answer: C. It has evolved to become more inclusive, reflecting the UK's multicultural society. The concept of British identity has become broader and more inclusive over time, incorporating the diverse cultures and backgrounds that make up the UK's population today. Question 40. Detail the contributions of British scientists to the development of computer technology. A. British scientists played no significant role in the development of computer technology. B. They led the invention of the World Wide Web and made foundational contributions to theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence. C. They focused exclusively on mechanical computing devices. D. British contributions were limited to the development of video games. Answer: B. They led the invention of the World Wide Web and made foundational contributions to theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence. British scientists such as Alan Turing and Tim Berners-Lee have been pivotal in advancing computer technology, from theoretical foundations to the creation of the World Wide Web. Question 41. What role did Britain play in the development of international law and the United Nations? A. Britain opposed the formation of the United Nations. B. Britain was a founding member of the United Nations and instrumental in drafting many early international laws. C. Britain joined the United Nations only after significant international pressure. D. Britain's role was limited to providing financial support for the United Nations. Answer: B. Britain was a founding member of the United Nations and instrumental in drafting many early international laws. The UK played a key role in the establishment of the UN and the development of international law, reflecting its commitment to global cooperation and peace. Question 42. How has the structure of the UK economy shifted since the 1980s? A. From a focus on agriculture to heavy industry. B. From a predominantly manufacturing-based economy to a services-oriented economy. C. From a services-oriented economy to a manufacturing-based economy. D. There has been no significant change in the structure of the UK economy since the 1980s. Answer B. From a predominantly manufacturing-based economy to a services-oriented economy. Since the 1980s, the UK has seen a significant shift towards a services-oriented economy, with finance, healthcare, and education becoming dominant sectors. Question 43. What legal and cultural impacts did the witch trials have in early modern Britain? A. They led to the immediate outlawing of witchcraft trials and executions. B. They reinforced the power of the monarchy over religious matters. C. They contributed to the development of the legal principle of innocent until proven guilty. D. They highlighted societal fears and tensions, leading to legal reforms in the trial process. Answer D. They highlighted societal fears and tensions, leading to legal reforms in the trial process. The witch trials in early modern Britain reflected deep societal anxieties and contributed to evolving legal standards, including more rigorous evidence requirements and trial procedures. Question 44. How did the Enclosure Acts transform the British landscape and society? A. By promoting the common use of land for agriculture. B. By redistributing land equally among all citizens. C. By consolidating small landholdings into larger farms, leading to increased agricultural efficiency, but also social displacement. D. They had no significant impact on the British landscape or society. Answer C. By consolidating small landholdings into larger farms, leading to increased agricultural efficiency, but also social displacement. The Enclosure Acts fundamentally changed the rural landscape, contributing to the development of modern agriculture, but also causing widespread social upheaval. Question 45. Describe the impact of the Chartist movement on British democracy. A. It resulted in the immediate granting of universal suffrage. B. It had no significant impact on British politics or society. C. It played a key role in advocating for democratic reforms, including suffrage expansion, even though its immediate goals were not achieved. D. It led to the abolition of the monarchy. Answer C. It played a key role in advocating for democratic reforms, including suffrage expansion, even though its immediate goals were not achieved. The Chartist movement was significant in the history of British democracy for its role in pushing for electoral reforms and contributing to the gradual expansion of the franchise. Question 46. What were the main reasons behind the UK's involvement in the Gulf Wars? A. Economic interests in the Gulf region and commitments to international alliances. B. A direct military threat to the British Isles. C. A desire to expand British territory. D. Domestic political pressures. Answer A. Economic interests in the Gulf region and commitments to international alliances. The UK's involvement in the Gulf Wars was primarily motivated by strategic and economic interests in the Middle East and obligations to allies, particularly the United States. Question 47. Detail the evolution of the British education system from the 19th century to the present. A. It has remained largely unchanged since the 19th century. B. Initial focus on religious instruction has shifted to a broad, state-provided education for all children. C. It moved from a public to an entirely private system. D. The education system became less inclusive over time. Answer B. Initial focus on religious instruction has shifted to a broad, state-provided education for all children. The British education system has evolved significantly, from limited and often religious-based schooling to a comprehensive system aiming to provide education to all children, reflecting changes in societal values and needs. Question 48. Explain the significance of the Windrush generation for post-war British society. A. It marked the beginning of mass immigration from the Caribbean, challenging and enriching British cultural and social life. B. It led to immediate legislative changes to stop immigration. C. It had no impact on British society. D. It resulted in the immediate integration and acceptance of all immigrant groups. Answer. A. It marked the beginning of mass immigration from the Caribbean, challenging and enriching British cultural and social life. The arrival of the Windrush generation symbolizes the start of significant post-war immigration, highlighting issues of race, integration, and multiculturalism in British society. Question 49. How has British literature influenced global culture and literature? A. British literature has had little influence outside of the UK. B. It has contributed significantly to the development of the English language and literary forms, influencing writers and readers worldwide. C. It has been entirely derivative of other cultures' literatures. D. British literature's influence is limited to former British colonies. Answer. B. It has contributed significantly to the development of the English language and literary forms, influencing writers and readers worldwide. British literature, from Shakespeare to contemporary authors, has played a pivotal role in shaping global literary traditions and the English language itself. Question 50. Detail the development and significance of the British film industry. A. The British film industry has remained insignificant on the global stage. B. It has developed distinctively creative and influential cinema, known for its innovation, storytelling, and cultural commentary. C. It solely focuses on historical documentaries. D. It was only established in the late 20th century. Answer. B. It has developed distinctively creative and influential cinema, known for its innovation, storytelling, and cultural commentary. The British film industry has made significant contributions to global cinema, known for its unique voice, diverse genres, and impact on international filmmaking. Question 51. What role does the monarchy play in modern British society and governance? A. It holds the ultimate authority over government decisions and laws. B. It primarily serves a ceremonial and symbolic role, with no direct power in governance. C. It directly controls the military and police forces. D. The monarchy is responsible for the daily administration of government. Answer. B. It primarily serves a ceremonial and symbolic role, with no direct power in governance. The British monarchy today is largely symbolic, with the sovereign's duties mostly ceremonial, and political power rests with Parliament and elected officials. Question 52. Describe the evolution of women's rights in the UK throughout the 20th century. A. Women's rights regressed, with many losing the right to vote and work. B. Significant progress was made, including gaining the vote, equal pay legislation, and increased representation in politics. C. No significant changes were made to women's rights during the 20th century. D. Women's rights movements were banned, preventing any progress. Answer. B. Significant progress was made, including gaining the vote, equal pay legislation, and increased representation in politics. The 20th century saw substantial advancements in women's rights in the UK, marked by milestones such as women's suffrage, the Equal Pay Act, and more women entering public and political life. Question 53. What were the key factors and outcomes of the UK's austerity measures post-2008? A. The measures led to rapid economic growth and decreased public debt. B. Austerity was implemented to address the financial crisis impact, resulting in public sector cuts, welfare changes, and controversy over economic and social effects. C. austerity measures led to the UK increasing its spending on public services significantly. D. The austerity measures had no significant impact on the UK's economy or public services. Answer: B. Austerity was implemented to address the financial crisis impact, resulting in public sector cuts, welfare changes, and controversy over economic and social effects. The austerity policies introduced in response to the financial crisis aimed to reduce government deficit, but also led to significant debate regarding their impact on society and the economy. Question 54. How has the UK addressed issues of climate change and environmental sustainability? A. By withdrawing from all international environmental agreements. B. Through legislation like the Climate Change Act 2008, committing to emission reduction targets and investing in renewable energy. C. By increasing reliance on coal and other fossil fuels. D. The UK has not acknowledged climate change as a legitimate issue. Answer: B. Through legislation like the Climate Change Act 2008, committing to emission reduction targets and investing in renewable energy. The UK has taken proactive steps to combat climate change, including setting ambitious legal targets for carbon emission reductions and promoting sustainability and renewable energy sources. Question 55. Detail the significance of the UK Supreme Court's establishment and its impact on the legal system. A. It abolished the role of the House of Lords as the highest court, marking a clear separation of powers and increasing the judiciary's independence. B. It diminished the independence of the judiciary by increasing government control over court decisions. C. The establishment of the Supreme Court had little impact, as it maintained the same functions as the House of Lords. D. It centralized legal authority exclusively within the executive branch. Answer: A. It abolished the role of the House of Lords as the highest court, marking a clear separation of powers and increasing the judiciary's independence. The creation of the UK Supreme Court in 2009 was a significant reform, enhancing the separation and independence of the judiciary by taking over the appellate jurisdiction previously held by the House of Lords.